Hello friends, I am Professor Dilip Sase from Sri Dokeshwar Junior College, Takli, Dokeshwar. I hope you all are hale and hearty. Friends, in our previous two lectures, we have seen that so far Sophie has made 4 unsuccessful attempts in order to go to jail. But every time he had failed. Now it's interesting to see what happens next. In a cigar store, he saw a well-dressed man lighting a cigar at the swinging light. He had set his silk umbrella by the door. On entering, Sophie stepped inside, grabbed the umbrella and sauntered off with it slowly. The man at the cigar light followed hastily. So there was a man who was lighting his cigar at the cigar store on the flame there, and he had kept his umbrella at the entrance, at the door of the cigar shop. Sophie picked that silk umbrella and started walking in a relaxed manner. Sauntered means walked in a relaxed manner. After seeing that, that man also started following Sophie. "My umbrella," he said sternly. "Oh, is it?" sneered Sophie, adding insult to petty larceny. "Well, why don't you call a policeman? I took it, your umbrella. Why don't you call a cop? There stands one on the corner." The words sneered means gave a contemptuous or mocking smile, remark or tone, and larceny means theft of personal property. So there was some sort of mockery in Sophie's voice. "Oh, is it? Is it your umbrella? Then why don't you call a cop? There stands one." So Sophie challenged the man and asked him to call the police and get him arrested. The umbrella owner slowed his steps. Sophie did likewise. With the premonition that luck would again run against him, the policeman eyed at the two curiously. Premonition means when there is a strong feeling in your heart that something wrong is going to happen with you, that is called premonition. So after hearing Sophie's reply, the umbrella owner slowed down his pace. Sophie also slowed down his pace. But when he saw that owner slowing down his pace, there was a feeling in his mind that something good is not going to happen with him. "Of course," said the umbrella man. "Well, you know how these mistakes occur. If it is your umbrella, I hope you will excuse me. I picked it up this morning in a restaurant. If you recognize it as yours, why, I hope you will." So the ex-umbrella, or the man who had that umbrella, the umbrella owner, he confessed to Sophie that he had picked that umbrella in the morning from a restaurant, and if Sophie recognizes it as his own, he doesn't have any problem. "Of course it is mine," said Sophie savagely. Savagely means violently. The ex-umbrella man retreated. The policeman hurried to assist a tall blonde in an opera cloak across the street in front of a streetcar that was approaching 2 blocks away. So the ex-umbrella man retreated, he taken aback, and the policeman went to assist a person, a blonde means person with pale yellow hair, and the person was wearing an opera cloak. Opera is a musical drama where actors sing as well as act. So policeman went to help him. Sophie walked eastward through a street damaged by improvements. He hurled the umbrella angrily into an excavation. He muttered against the men who wear helmets and carry clubs, because he wanted to fall into their clutches, and they seemed to regard him as a king who could do nothing wrong. Sophie started walking eastward, and he started uttering some bad words for the policeman. But before that, he hurled means threw the umbrella in some excavation work, and he used bad words for police because he wanted them to arrest him, but they treated him as if he was a king and he would do nothing wrong at all. At length, Sophie reached one of the avenues to the east where the glitter and turmoil was but faint. At length means after walking for a long time, Sophie reached one of the avenues. Avenues are the broad city roads which have trees at regular interval. And there was no glittering and turmoil of the city light and commotion, which means that it was a quieter place than the city atmosphere. He dragged himself toward Madison Square. Madison Square is in New York City. For homing instinct survives even when the home is a park bench. Now this line is very important. He had tried for 5 times. In fact, it was the 6th time one has been excluded from our course book. So after trying for 6 times and facing failure, now it was, the homing instinct was always there. But okay, no prison, that's okay, but he will have to find out some sort of shelter, and that's why he moved to Madison Square. But on an usually quiet corner, Soapy came to a standstill. Here was an old church, quaint and rambling and gable. Through one violet-stained window, a soft light glowed, where no doubt the organist loitered over the keys, making sure of his mastery of the coming Sabbath anthem. For there drifted out to Soapy's ears sweet music that caught and held him transfixed against the convolutions of the iron fence. Let's get the meaning of some difficult words, new words. Quaint. Quaint means attractively unusual or old-fashioned. So Soapy comes across a church, and that church was pretty old, attractively old. And it was rambling. Rambling means spreading everywhere, wherever it wanted. The church was spreading in all directions. It was gabled. Gabled is a kind of construction where the walls at the upper side, the walls go triangular. Through one violet-stained window, a soft light glowed, where no doubt the organist loitered over. Loitered over is lingered, practiced the keys of the piano, making sure of his mastery of the coming Sabbath. Sabbath is a religious day observed by Christians and Jews, an anthem. So he was going to play an anthem on the day of Sabbath, and he was practicing those tunes. And when those tunes drifted to Soapy's ear, that made Soapy transfixed. Means he could not move at all. He stood there. He did not move at all. The moon was above, full and radiant. Vehicles and pedestrians were few. Sparrows twittered sleepily in the eaves. A little while, the scene might have been a country churchyard. And the anthem that the organist played cemented Soapy to the iron fence. So, for he had known it well in the days when his life contained such things as mothers and roses and ambitions and friends and immaculate thoughts and callers. So, all in all, there was a very quiet atmosphere, and the song, the tune the organist was practicing over made Soapy remember the good old days before he was a criminal. Before he was a criminal, his life consisted of things like mothers and roses. Mothers and roses stands for love. So his life contained love. His life contained friendship. His life contained ambitions. Then some immaculate thoughts. Immaculate means perfectly clean and neat and tidy. And callers. Callers stand for sophisticated life. The conjunction of Soapy's receptive state of mind and the influences about the old church brought a sudden and wonderful change in his soul. Now, this line is very important. There was sudden change in Soapy's heart. There was some sort of revolution in his mind, and that revolution was brought into force by 2 major forces, and they were Soapy's receptive state of mind and the influences about the old church, that is the tune of anthem. He viewed with rising horror the pit into which he had tumbled. He degraded the degraded dates, unworthy desires, dead hopes, wrecked faculties. Wrecked faculties means dead strength of mind. So he remembered all those bad things which had filled his life to the full. He had lived his life like a criminal, having no hope at all. And also, in a moment, his heart responded thrillingly to this strange mood. So his heart also started responding to the thrilling mood it was experiencing. A strong impulse moved him to battle with his desperate fact. So there was some sort of impulse in him that made him to fight his fact that he was criminal. He would pull himself out of the mire. Mire is a complicated or unpleasant situation from which it is difficult to free oneself. So he decided to come out of this mire, leave this criminal life and become a good person. He would conquer the evil that had enslaved him. There was time, he was young yet. He would resurrect his old eager ambitions and pursue them without faltering. The word resurrect means restore to life, and the word faltering means losing strength. So without faltering means without losing strength, he would resurrect, means restore to life all the ambitions he had earlier set for himself, and he would start his life anew. Those solemn but sweet organ notes had set up revolution in him. Tomorrow he would go in the roaring downtown district and find work. A fur importer had once offered him a place as a driver. He would be somebody in the world. So when he was a good person, at that time a fur importer had offered him a job as a driver. Now tomorrow in the morning itself, he decided that he would go to the downtown and request that fur importer to grant him the job, and would join the job, and he would start his life anew. So in this way he was engrossed in his thoughts when he felt a hand on his arm, and when he looked around to see, there was a policeman, and that policeman asks him, "What are you doing here?" When Sophie said that he was doing nothing, the policeman arrested him, presented him before the magistrate of police court, and the magistrate sentenced him 3 months of imprisonment. Here our story ends. Our story ends in an unexpected way. We all know that Sophie is a vagabond. He is spending all his life aimlessly, and as winter is approaching, in order to protect himself from the severe cold, he wants to get into jail. In this pursuit, he tries for 6 times, and every time luck hits him in the head with brick. That means he falls every time. But finally, when he comes across the tunes of anthem, that transforms him from within, and when he decides to change himself into a good person, again the luck hits him hard, and he is sent to jail. Friends, in the beginning, in the first lecture itself, I have told you we can sum up, or we can give the essence of the story in a single line, and that is, man proposes, God disposes. Be sure whatever you desire for, luck may not grant you what you desire. While portraying the picture of Sophie, O. Henry has been successful in achieving some sort of sympathy for Sophie in the reader's mind. Because though he picturized Sophie as a criminal, he has picturized Sophie as a petty criminal. He hasn't shown him doing some serious crimes. Definitely we feel some sort of sympathy for Sophie. Because the one incident, I would like to tell you about an incident which has been excluded from our 12th course book. In pursuit of getting arrested, Sophie solicits a woman in the hope that she will call the police and get him arrested. But on the contrary, that lady accepts his proposal and asks him for a drink. Somehow Sophie manages to escape from her clutches. Had he been a serious criminal, he would definitely have taken advantage of that lady. One more thing I would like to tell you, that the words the cop and anthem symbolize 2 different segments of society. That is, the cop stands for law and order, and anthem stands for religion. So O. Henry wants to picturize the conflict between law and order and religion. That's what I hope all of you have enjoyed watching this video, and would not forget to like and share it. Thank you.